It is raining here at Trenton State College. The field is very wet. John, how much will field conditions factor into this game?
At first, I thought they were going to factor a lot, but the more I look at the field and the more I watch the players working out, I don't think it's going to have a big factor. We did a state championship here several years ago in the rain, and there was a lot of beautiful one-to-one play. At first, I was going to say it favors Lacey, but right now, I think it just might even things up and make it a very close match.
All season long, Lacey Township has been relying on Jim Delapietro for their offensive spark, and they're going to need him here tonight.
Well, Jim's got, I believe it's 14 or 17 goals this year. He's got the assists. He does up front what you want a player to do. He knows how to put the ball in the net. He gets a lot of assists, and when he gets a lot of assists, that means he distributes the ball well. I think Lacey looks an awful lot for them, for Delapietro to really do the job.
Now, on the other hand, Scotch Plains looks to their big scorer, and tell us a little bit about him.
Well, Eric Uruano's a little bit different. He's only a sophomore, but yet coming off the bench of all places, 19 goals, and he's only a sophomore. But this is the key to this Scotch Plains team. Tom Bresnitsky is very proud of this young club. Last year, they almost did it. In a lot of areas, they almost made the county finals. They almost did this. They almost did that. This year, the almost is out of the way, and here they are in the final. They're one of the top-rated teams in the state, and, of course, they're right up there in TV3, too. So I think Eric's play up front is only part of this team. This team is a team like Westfield talked last week of day-to-day heroes. This is a team that anybody can do it.
So there it is. The stage is set. The Group 3 state championship coming your way right after this.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Albert, and when I want to find out what's going on in the local sports scene, I tune in to TV3.
Taxes, the economy, the environment, and our schools. I'm Steve Adubato. These are just a few of the issues examined each week on Caucus, New Jersey, the state's premier news and public affairs program. Tune in for in-depth, thoughtful analysis of how current issues and long-term trends affect all of us in the Garden State. You can't afford to miss the next edition of Caucus, New Jersey. We ask the questions that you want answered.
Fridays at 6 o'clock on Suburban Cablevision's TV3.
Suburban Cablevision's TV3 is your award-winning local community channel, committed to excellence in programming and serving Suburban's communities. TV3 has won 30 National ACE Awards, the cable industry's highest award, more than any other cable system in the country. Turn us on, tune us in, and see why we are a leader. Suburban Cablevision TV3. Welcome back to Trenton State College. Along with John Marcy, I'm Rob Matola. We're set to bring you the Group 3 Boys Soccer State Championship. But let's take a look at how both of these two teams got here. First of all, there's Lacey's Road. They defeated Ocean City, Triton Regional, Mainland Regional, and Cumberland. In North Brunswick, that 4-3 game, John, was a shootout victory for Lacey. They won the shootout 5-3 on penalty kicks.
Not the best way from a player's standpoint to win a game, but it has to be decided this time of the year.
Scotch Plains, on the other hand, a little bit of an easier road. Mount Olive, Par Hills, West Morris, and a big victory over Hoboken, a 6-1 win in the Group 3 semis.
Boy, and in that semifinal, they were just superlative. They were down 1-0, and then they came back. And once they settled down and got used to that AstroTurf, they were just unbeatable. They scored a goal with 5 seconds left in the game.
The gentleman there with the blue hat and the gray windbreaker is Ed Gratian in his 11th year at Lacey. 121, 81, and 12. All right, let's check the Lacey starting lineup for this ball game. Up front, they go with Jacobs, Della Pietro, who we highlighted in the open, and Kerrigan. In the midfield spot, Pierce, Marshall, and Santoro. Back defending, Wall, McLaughlin, Manger, and Fiore. And in the nets, of course, John Capodici. Capodici with a great goals against average, and there you can see he's also got 7 shutouts on the 91 campaign. For Scotch Plains, up front, they will go with this alignment. Avi Horeb and Corey Berlinski, 2 very powerful scorers. In the midfield, Reza Winokur, Klein, and D.G. Lewis. Defensively, Dagra, Alchus, Marcavecchio, and Joy. And in the nets for the Raiders this evening, their outstanding junior goaltender, Bracky Reyes. Bracky has 12 shutouts on the year. He's given up 11 goals. On a whole, Scotch Plains has scored 81 goals, and they've given up 13.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. 21 games.
If you can see on Bracky's left arm there, he's wearing a black armband. That is in memory of their striker or stopper who was lost, Shima Wexler. Wexler passed away earlier in the season, John, and that was just a horrible tragedy that they've overcome, though.
That they have. I talked to Tom Brzezinski earlier in the season, and they more or less dedicated this season to it.
We're underway. Scotch Plains sends a long ball out of bounds, and that'll be a goal kick.
Seems almost as we started here, the sky seemed to open up, and it started to rain hard. And you saw that ball when it bounced, it really skipped across the AstroTurf. So, in fact, what we talked about in the open has changed suddenly with this weather. It's going to be tough for the defenders and the goalkeepers especially.
The rain is still falling here rather heavily. It's been raining all day. Scotch Plains now working. That is D.G. Lewis who kicks ahead. Avi Horeb now deep into the corner. Horeb with a nice little move. Looking for someone to cross it to. He crosses it to Winokur, but it's kicked away. Scotch Plains still working at the top of the box. Now at midfield, Sean Jacobs. And this ball will be played back to the box to Bracky Reyes.
Bracky Reyes didn't miss that ball. He came all the way out. He had to make sure that ball went into the penalty area.
We're just underway here in the Group 3 State Championship for Boys Soccer. Lacey Township and Scotch Plains Fanwood. 38-36 in the first half. Ball played now into Lacey's end, and the keeper's going to come out for it.
And again, that ball skips on that high ball, on that high pass. Scotch Plains on their first sequence brought the ball in the right side. They worked their wings so nicely on the give and goes, and they work it and they spread it to the wings, spread the defense out, and then they suddenly bring the ball to the middle. Hoboken wasn't able to deal with it at all.
That ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Lions. It's Winokur down the sideline. Kicks it ahead to Reza. Reza looking for someone. He's still racing down the sideline. Crosses it. Horeb comes out, tried to get a foot at it, but a nice job.
Yes, it was.
Capodici comes out with a nice save.
But again, 2 sequences for Scotch Plains. One, they bring it down the right wing. One, they bring it down the left wing. They work the wings so nicely.
The Lions now working at midfield. Crosses into Scotch Plains zone. Sean Jacobs has been controlling things, number 16 for the Lions so far. He's had a lot of action. Long ball, headed away.
on those long passes, Rob, the defense has to get to it before it hits the turf, because once it hits the turf, it's going to take a skip, and there's a good chance of it getting by them.
Lewis now trying for Scotch Plains. Ball's cleared out back toward midfield again. Sean Jacobs is there for the Lions. Amit Dogra over to Eric Klein. Klein now charging through the middle. Klein into the box. Ball is still loose. Cappadocia comes out to get it. Klein heads at the midfield. Santoro kicks ahead for the Lions.
There you can see those field conditions.
And Mike Marcavecchio plays it back to Bracky Rays.
The amazing thing is, Rob, it rains hard now, but if it stops raining for 5 minutes, those field conditions will improve drastically.
Last night, Tom Bresnitsky said he was down here for the other two Group State Championships. He said at halftime of the Harrison game, it started to pour, the Group 2 State Championship. It got a little colder, and conditions were very icy as the ball is crossed into the box. Shot just goes wide.
That's Scotch Plains all over. They play those wings so beautifully. We commented on it earlier. They spread the defense out. You'll see the ball come down here. Just beats the defender at the cross. The one-time header comes in. What a great shot by Winokur. Winokur got the head on it, but it went just a little bit wide. But he had a wide-open goal to get it to.
Ball sent right back in by Scotch Plains. John, you mentioned Winokur before. He's their offensive center midfielder for Scotch Plains. He's got 10 goals and 15 assists on the 91 campaign.
Well, there's your answer right there. And he's only a junior.
D.G. Lewis now charging ahead, but it's cleared away by Rob Fiore. Fiore now pushing ahead along with John Wall. Wall almost tripped, and he drags down Mike Alchis.
The call was made on the trip ahead of the play. Even though the man didn't go down, it was enough to take him off the play. You'll see here they come down there. Right there, there's the trip. Now, you didn't take him down, but you took him off the play. And that's why the call. That second man going down is not the trip.
Senior fullback Rob Fiore will do the honors on the restart. Chipped in toward the box, trailing away. It's cleared away by the defense.
Oh, great opportunity here for the Raiders.
This is Winokur at midfield. Kicks ahead. Craig Manger now kicking it away for the Lions. Ball will go out of bounds. That'll be a Scotch Plains throw-in.
Scotch Plains, we can also look, when they have a throw-in deep in the offensive end of the field, they will freely substitute to bring in a thrower that can bring the ball right, even on a wide field like they have here. Have great opportunities.
Winokur again gets the give and go back to him. He's got a shot. Just sails wide. Winokur again with another great chance for Scotch Plains.
And again, what has happened is they've spread the defense. Winokur right here gets the ball, sets it one time, takes the shot, and again, just wide.
So two good chances for Scotch Plains, both of them coming via Josh Winokur. Capodici will take care of the goal kick. Klein handles it at midfield for Scotch Plains. He sends ahead for D.G. Lewis, who's racing down the right sideline.
What a great lead that was, too.
Lewis making a couple moves. He's again looking to cross. He's got Winokur once again in the middle.
And a corner kick.
So Scotch Plains will set up for their first corner kick of the night.
He tried to dummy that ball through to let it go through, but the defender saw it, and the only way to clear it was to take it across the end line for the corner kick.
No score in this Group 3 state championship at the 32-49 mark of the first half. Scotch Plains now setting up for the corner kick. The ball loose in front, but Capodici comes out and makes a beautiful play.
That was a good. Berlinski took that corner kick. I think he had it out a little further than he wanted, but Capodici came right between two attackers and got that ball.
Lewis tries to get by Jacobs. The ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in.
You'll see here Berlinski with the corner kick. It's a very high, and from this angle you can't see, but it comes out very much closer to the 18. And you'll see right between, there was only one attacker there, but he certainly took it right off the attacker's head.
Back to live action. Rob Fiore just booted the ball way past midfield. It looks like we may have an injury down. Trying to see who that is. John Wall was the injured player.
John Wall will not have to leave the field because the trainer was not beckoned out, so he's going to stay in.
Wall took a foot into the chest, and that's what knocked him down, but he looks to be okay at this point. He is making his way toward the sideline now, though.
I stand corrected. The official said I stopped the clock. I beckoned for the injury, therefore the substitution is going to be mandated.
Clock is stopped, as John said, 31:53 left in the first half. No score in the Group 3 state championship between Lacey and Scotch Plains.
It'll be Damian Morris coming in to replace him, but I'm sure we're going to see him back in very, very quickly. Wall, one of their better players.
Damian Morris, a junior midfielder, broke his wrist earlier in the season, but Ed Gratian said he is back and back with a vengeance. He's been playing extremely well off the bench.
Oh, nicely taken by Lacey.
Long lead down toward the left sideline. Jim Delapietro, the ball goes out of bounds.
Jim Delapietro the ball had gone out of touch off him first on his lead, and when he tried to bring it back in, it was already called out.
Throw in taken by Keith Joy. It's headed right back to him. Joy kicks out toward midfield, and it's a cross back into Lacey end of things. Winokur again on the charge, leading the offense for Scotch Plains, and the ball is going to be taken by D.G. Lewis. Lewis has been working in that corner quite a bit so far in his first half as he crosses for Berlinski.
Nice lead.
Klein into the box. The ball is loose, and then it's cleared away nicely. Still in a bit of trouble, but Fiore kicks it away from the box. Big collision at the 40.
Mike Marcavecchio really came up strong in that play.
I'm using the football yard markers here, John. That was a 40, a good tackle.
That's perfectly all right. But Marcavecchio, the ball play, he played it very nicely on the skip.
Big collision with Rays, but
it was a good play. It was a good play. That ball was still free, and Rays kind of nonchalanted it a little too much.
Mike Marcavecchio cleared things up for Scotch Plains, and another big collision. Klein was upended by Kevin McLaughlin.
You'll see right here, that's the collision right there. That's a tough one to make, but nevertheless the call made.
Ball booted back out toward midfield now. Dan Currigan now with the ball for Lacey. Nice slide tackle by Lewis. John Wall now returning for Lacey. Coming in for Joe Marshall. Ball goes out of bounds again. Once again, it will be a Lacey Township throwing at midfield.
Make a little money selling umbrellas today.
The weather is not pleasant today here at Trenton State College. As we mentioned before, it's been raining all day. The field is soaking wet.
What we say about the rain, it's still around 65, 70 degrees. It's quite comfortable temperature-wise.
Scotch Plains clears the ball back. Berlinski was giving chase, but it got kicked back toward midfield, and Lacey again set up in Scotch Plains' end.
Lacey's been having trouble handling that ball that's been skipping on the turf as it approaches the defenders.
McLaughlin ahead. It's taken by Klein. Klein punches ahead for Lewis. Lewis crosses toward the middle for Berlinski, but it's taken. And kicked out of bounds by Fiore.
Fiore controlled that nicely off his chest. That's a tough ball on that
That's
angle.
what we've been talking about, John. You should have brought some umbrellas. You'd be a millionaire today.
Sets it up. He's got to take a shot.
Toward the top of the box. Klein shooting one, but it'll go wide.
Wait, Klein took the kick. He set it up for his left foot. I thought he was going to go for the right foot. And then when he took the shot, the defender just got his arm out of the way just in the nick of time.
No score yet. We're still in the first half. 27:40 left.
Scoreboard clock here at Trenton State is official.
Klein working at midfield. Gets it up to Winokur. Winokur gets the ball right back, but it's cleared away by the Lions. As you can see, it is wet out there. Amit Dogra sends ahead. That ball will go out of touch. It'll be a throw-in for the Lions. D.G. Lewis kicks it out of bounds again, a throw-in for the Lions. Ed Gratian mentioned, if you didn't catch the open, that his club, the Lacey Township Lions, are a blue-collar team. They may not be as skilled as Scotch Plains, but they're going to give you 110% for the entire length of time that they're out there on the pitch. Push called. Keith Joy will set the restart up for the Raiders. Sent all the way into the Lacey end, and again it will go out of bounds.
And you see as that ball hits the turf, you can see it bringing the water up.
Not a bad crowd on hand here tonight.
Yeah, we were commenting earlier that there weren't that many, but now that the opening whistle is gone, all of a sudden the people are probably been sitting in their cars and underneath.
It's fashionably late, John. Jacob sends ahead. And it's kicked right back down to the Lacey end. Berlinski had a chance at that, but defensively, Fiore was right there.
Well, you know, I think Berlinski was looking for him to miss that ball.
Looking for a skip or a bad hop on this wet turf. McLaughlin sends back the header. Lewis battling with John Santoro, and Lewis wins that one.
So far, it seems that the Raiders have had a little bit the better of play. They've played the wings well, but they seem to be playing the field conditions better than the Lions do at this point.
Seen a couple of the Lions on the turf, a little bit more than you've seen the Scotch Plains Raiders, but that could go with their game plan again, as we said.
Yeah.
They give you the 110%, and maybe not as skilled, but they're the guys who are going to be on the turf.
Now we not just have the wind, the rain, but the wind is also picked up right now in the favor of the Raiders. It blows from our left to right. You can see that American flag, which is at the far end of the field to our right, and it is really blowing hard. Almost like those summer squalls you get in late August and early September.
Bob Gowan is now in for the Lions, senior midfielder.
And yet the quality of the play, Rob, has not diminished at all. There has been a lot of good short passing on the part of the Scotch Plains Fanwood. A lot of movement with the ball. You've seen what D.G. Lewis can do down in the corners.
And that is Lewis working in the corner right now, but Kevin McLaughlin sends it out for the Lions. This is Jacobs now with the ball.
And there you can see the wind, how it turned that ball. It was coming upfield, and it was really turned back down.
That'll be a throw-in for the Raiders. Joy will take it. Loses the ball. Must be a little slippery down there, too.
Again, getting a good throw.
Perfilio got tripped up. Klein gets it taken away. Bounces off a couple of chests, and it's sent back in toward the box.
There's an opportunity. Who's going to get to it? And the Lions do.
Knocked out of bounds by Craig Manger. throwing now for the Raiders. They're sending it up on the far side. D.G. Lewis had a chance to get a foot on it, but it got cleared away. And this is Joy once again now for the Raiders. Sent right back into the box, and Capodici will watch it go out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick.
Very smart idea, the way that ball skips. He knew it was wide of the net. He did have an opportunity to play it, but he decided just to let it go out of touch. Don't misplay it back there.
Sent ahead all the way out to midfield. Joy handles it, and he sends it ahead. Dogra now trying to work it down toward Lewis once again, but this ball's going to go out.
I think Lewis probably did the right thing then, but I don't think you can quit on a ball on a night like this. It's so wet out there that ball, it's going to skip, but if it sticks to the turf, it's going to stop right away because it's so wet, it's going to slow play up quite a bit.
Joe Marshall just came in for John Santora for the Lions. A couple other substitutions for the Lions also. Tony Perfilio now working, but that ball's going to go out of bounds. It'll be another goal kick for the Lions.
Perfilio picked up that goal kick nicely. It was low.
No score yet. It's 0-0, 21-10 mark of the first half. We're here at Trenton State College for the Group 3 State Championship.
Oh, great move.
Great chance here.
Great move by the defense, but it's going to be a Lion throw-in, and that was a good call by the official.
Perfilio came out and tried to make the offensive play.
And here he comes out, and you'll see right here, as the defender does, in fact, kick it in to Perfilio. And it was the right call.
Craig Manger on the defensive side of the ball for the Lions that time. Ruano deep into the box, and he gets dumped big.
But again, the Raiders putting on the pressure.
Ruano stops that one off the side of his body. It goes out of bounds. So a lot of play, a lot of time, a lot of minutes logged down here in the Lions' end of the field.
You know, over the years, we've talked so many times, Rob, about this AstroTurf versus the natural grass. And certainly today is one of those days where the natural grass is the difference.
Crossed by Lewis, it goes up and over the goal.
So, and you saw the ball boy in the back there, he went down going to just a big splash. You'll see here the shot, it's a soft shot taken. You'll see it as the keeper goes back, it was just kind of floating. It goes down. I don't know if we see it, no, but the ball boy just went after that ball and it almost disappeared into a puddle.
Disappeared in one of the Trenton Lakes here.
Right.
Manger tees it up and he boots it out toward, but it's blocked. Could almost call that a shot on goal. That's close.
That's twice that's happened, and I believe that was Lewis. And if he stays on top of that ball, you're going to catch them. You're going to catch them sound asleep on it, and you're going to put one in the net. I believe we caught a number of years ago on TV3 a goal scored that way when it was kicked into a defender and went into the net. I think that was Perfilio and not D.G. Lewis.
This is Ruano, who we highlighted in the beginning. Winokur now. Ball toward the corner. He was trying to get it to Corey Berlinski.
A good question now. We know the wind is a factor. Is that why Scotch Plains is staying at this end of the field, or is Scotch Plains playing the better game right now? And the only way we're going to find out is when we get to the second half. But if in case the wind is a factor, it's really important that Scotch Plains get a goal or two at this time.
Manger tees it up once again for the Lions. This time, Perfilio was nowhere around. Dogra and Bob Gowan exchanged head balls there, and the ball went out of bounds.
I think we're going to have a substitution for the Raiders. Looks like Avi Horov coming into the game.
Joyce sends it ahead, but it goes out of bounds off one of the lines. It'll be a throw-in. Berlinski will take it. He gets it to Ruano. Ruano right back to Berlinski, who crosses it. Ball is still loose in the front.
You're going to have a dangerous play here. You're going to have an indirect kick for the Raiders. Ooh, I think he's calling it the other way. Let's see.
It looked like Josh Winokur got the foot up a little high.
Let's see if it was, in fact, Whitaker. Be honest with you.
It looked no,
like you're right. As a matter of fact, the referee was right with the call, and I can't argue. First time this year, boy.
Ball now set at midfield. The Lions controlling. It's pushed ahead.
First time that I'll admit, I'll put it that way.
Delapetro sends ahead for Marshall, but Scotch Plains takes care of it. Horeb racing down the far sideline. He slows up, and now he hits it toward the middle. Ruano had a shot at it. He was being guarded very tightly. Rob Fiore was back there, too, and he kicked that ball out of bounds.
Well, you'll see the ball comes across low here. And as it comes across, the defender, I believe that defender was Rob Fiore, and Fiore, in fact, was the one that crossed it out for the corner kick. But keeping that ball low, it does funny things on the AstroTurf on a night like this.
Looks like Berlinski taking the corner.
It's over.
Ball
his
is loose up in front over Capadicci's head, but it's cleared away.
That's worth a few gray hairs to a coach.
Klein now for the Raiders. Offsides call on the Lions, on the Raiders. Manger will tee it up. Sent right back in, as we mentioned before, most of the play so far. Here is Ruano. Tried to get it to Horeb, but Capadicci comes out to take care of it.
What a beautiful lead. Ruano just put that ball ahead, and it just went across.
Ball now on the far side. Jacobs trying to get it. Klein trying to get it.
As he was playing the ball, he was also moving off with the elbows.
Scotch Plains now charging on offense once again. Ruano taking off the ball. Now Berlinski takes it right back. Ruano with the ball at the top of the box, but it's knocked away.
Ruano showing nice footwork, nice ball control. And again, the Raiders doing so well working the ball on the outside.
Berlinski now sends toward the middle, looking for Alchis. But it's knocked out of bounds.
The only disadvantage working the ball to the outside is getting it in to get the goal. But if you've got a team that can dig the ball like they do, you're going to put them in the net. What did we say, 81 goals coming in?
81.
That's just under a 4-goal average.
$13.50 left in the first half. Still no score in this Group 3 state championship as the ball goes out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick.
Juan Santero and Dan Kerrigan coming back into the game.
Both Scotch Plains and Lacey substituting at this point. Berlinski just went off the field. T.G. Lewis back on. Ball's played back to Rays. Rays with the kick all the way across midfield. McLaughlin trying for Lacey. Lewis settles the ball for the Raiders. And he gets past Fiore. Crosses it for Winokur. Winokur with the nice fake, but it gets by. Eric Ruano kicked nothing but air, unfortunately, for the Raiders.
Wow, he had an absolutely wide open shot and he fanned on it.
Jacob sends the ball ahead. Alchis sliding for it.
There's going to be a dangerous on that. You're going to see here, the ball was dummied coming through. Lewis comes across. You're going to see here, first that's dummied. And there he goes, and he just, Winokur, I believe that was, just completely fanned on the ball on a wide open net. You had what looked like a 1-0 game.
But it is not 1-0. It's still 0-0 with 12 minutes left in the first half. So far, the Lacey game plan has not been working. They wanted to, the short passing game, but if they couldn't do that, the long ball and try to chip it ahead. But most of the play, as we mentioned twice before, has been in their own end.
And at this point in the game, there's no question in my mind that the Raiders have had the better of play. They've worked the wings well. They've brought the ball to the inside. They certainly had the shots on net.
The ball goes out of bounds. Eric Ruano with a heck of a chase on that one, but he couldn't get to it.
Stand corrected. Not shots on net, but shots at goal.
We'll let you go, John. We'll set that one up again. Fiore with the throw-in for the Lions. Gets it out to Della Pietro, but Della Pietro gets it stolen by Ruano and Lewis. Winokur again in the corner. Ridden off the ball by McLaughlin. So we had a push called on McLaughlin.
And again, what happened? McLaughlin reached around the player as he was reached around Winokur to get it, and it becomes a push or a hold. And this is the second time they've done it. Down here, it's going to be very costly because they had the ball cleared.
Klein now setting up the restart.
And of course, the wind is a factor here. It's not even holding the ball still.
Into the box, up and over.
And that's going to be a corner kick.
That'll set up Scotch Plains' third corner kick.
With this wind, the corner kick is such an advantage at this end of the field.
Eric Klein teeing it up. He's got a bunch of guys in front. He's got Horev, Reza, Ruano, Lewis, and Winokur.
Sort of a wide set up front, but you watch how they converge on the goal as that ball is crossed in.
Here it comes. Capodici comes out. He loses it, but comes back up, picks it up, loses it again, and then regains possession.
Never had full possession. That's why he could take it a second time inside the box. You'll see, again, the low corner kick taken with the left foot, hoping to get it to come in. Capodici comes out. First control, second control, and here he goes, and now he loses it again, and then he finally controls it 3 times before he finally got the ball. I think we're going to have a clock stoppage here. We might have a caution.
And yellow card to Dan Kerrigan for Lacey. And Kerrigan being replaced by Tom Clark.
Honestly, can't say. I didn't see what the play was because I was still coming back from the monitor on that. And today we have to come back from the monitor as it's set back a little bit off in the booth here to protect it from the weather.
Under 9 minutes to play in the first half of the Group 3 state championship. There is still no score between the Raiders and the Lions.
And for the most part, this first half of play has been the Raiders.
Horev now with the ball into the box. Cleared away. Alchis now sends right back in. And Jacobs clears away for the Lions. Keith Joy now giving chase along with Chris Lawler. no handball called. It looked like it went off the forearm of D.G.
Very
Lewis.
definitely a handball. But if you look where the official is and where the player was, you can see why that would have been missed.
Down the sideline, it's cleared away.
There's that ball skipping again on that turf.
Back toward midfield, McLaughlin takes it, puts it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Raiders. Rain has somewhat eased up a bit. It is still very windy, though, and the field, as we mentioned before, extremely wet from the precipitation throughout the entire afternoon.
Amazing enough, there's a lot of intensity to this game. There's been a lot of good play. It hasn't taken as much away from the game as I thought it would.
Lewis was battling with Keith Pierce. Pierce, the junior midfielder, kicked that one out of bounds, but must have went off Lewis because Pierce is going to have the throw-in.
When the ball gets up in the air on the throw-in, it's just like a dying quail.
Jacob sends ahead. Booted down toward the far sideline. But Scotch Plains regains possession once again.
And the Raiders, as they've done all game long, have controlled that midfield. They've controlled the wings, they've controlled the midfield, and that's why they've had the better of play.
Klein bowled over by Joe Marshall.
You'll see here as he comes, he turns to take the play in. It's right about there. You can see the shoulder come up, and they bowl him right over. No question about it. Either a push or a charge is called. Either way, it's going to be a direct kick for the Raiders.
Klein will do the honors on the direct kick.
He might just take the shot here. With the wind at his back, boy, ball skips.
We'll see what happens. Doesn't take the shot. Gets it over to Reza, and Reza's shot goes up over the crossbar. Jeff Reza, the senior left midfielder for the Raiders.
Klein moves the ball over to the left. That negates the wall. Reza comes in, takes a shot, but leans back just a little too much. Ball goes up in the air and sails over.
Going to get a push called on Klein. He bumped with Marshall. Other way around.
The other way around. What happened? You're getting these late hits by Lacey behind the play.
Ball stopped by Capodicio. It's open, but it's his goal.
That's no question about that one. No question about that one.
Tony Perfilio picking up the goal. Scotch Plains draws first blood in the Group 3 championship.
And no question about it, the field conditions played a factor on that one, Rob. You could see Capodici had the original save, but that ball skipped, came off his chest, and that's what kept it in play. Here's the shot. There's Capodici making the original save, but it skipped. He comes down, but it looked like Whitaker was in on it. And then Porfilio came back and took the second rebound off Capodici and put it in. Goal scored with 5 minutes and 29 seconds left to go.
That was Perfilio's first goal of the season.
Wow, what a goal.
The sophomore forward had 3 assists coming into this game. He picks up his first and probably the biggest of Scotch Plains' season so far.
Well, Rob, we knew it was coming. I believe we had a handball. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. They've been putting the pressure on. The ball again misplayed. The field conditions suddenly playing havoc for the Lacey Township Lions.
This is Della Pietro the other way. Keith Joy using a burst of speed to get that ball away from him.
Well, he was back on the play. He came a long way to make that play.
So Perfilio gets the goal. It's 1-0. 4:33 left.
And I'd have to give that goal unassisted because it's after a couple of rebounds.
As John mentioned, the field conditions was a major factor in that goal scoring.
But they both have to deal with the same factor.
That's right. A shoe up and down.
that leather stretches out when they get wet. You'll see as he goes to put, but what happens is the leather does stretch out when it gets wet like that, and oftentimes you'll see that happen.
Scotch Plains once again applying the pressure. Lewis into the box. Perfilio almost had number 2. Reza goes off the post. Horev
What great,
off the side of the goal.
what great pressure by Scotch Plains. They've been doing it all game, but now they're really beginning to zero in on the net.
Perfilio almost picked up number 2 in less than 30 seconds, and Jeff Reza with one right off the post.
There's Reza taking the shot. It hits the post. Of course, it's unbelievable the pressure that's being put on, and that had nothing to do with the field conditions. That was just playing hard play and getting to the ball first.
Klein settles it for the Raiders. Nice little move. He's ridden off the ball.
But he's working hard to get back onto it again. Has Lacey even had a shot on goal yet? As they're going to have a direct kick on the push. I don't believe they've even had a shot on goal.
The closest they came was when their one player had slid into Ray's, and the defense took care of it after that. Jacob sends toward the box, but it's cleared away.
And of course, the Raider defense really hasn't had much to do because the offense has been working so hard today. From that midfield area where you see the TSC on the middle of the field, from that point all the way up, it's the Scotch Plains midfielders and offense have really been doing the work. And the few times that it has come back, Reyes is coming up tough there. He's been very sure-handed. The defense, they've cleared the ball quickly up to the halfbacks. And we mentioned earlier, they've controlled the midfield.
Brackey sends it ahead. Perfilio looking for it at midfield. He sends it ahead for Winokur. Lewis ridden off the ball. That was Marshall. Marshall now pushes ahead. He sends it deep into the corner for Sean Lynch. But Lynch can't keep it in.
And it goes across for the goal kick. 1.5 minutes left in the first half. And a fast-moving first half. Tony Perfilio, the goal scorer, leaving and getting a big hand from the bench.
Ball kicked out toward midfield, and it goes out of bounds once again. Fiore will take the throw in. Ruano loses the ball, but gets it back, and he kicks it down the sideline for Lewis. Lewis looked like he was passing it right to Fiore on that play. Ruano and Lewis have been working hard on this near sideline.
45 seconds, certainly enough time for either team to get one. Winokur with a great opportunity.
Now. He's got the left-footed shot, but it's blocked.
First he looked like he wanted to turn and set it up for the right foot, and then he just said, the heck with it, let's take the shot.
Winokur looked a little unsure of what he wanted to do, as John mentioned, and maybe didn't get a hard shot off like he wanted to. Klein with the shot, but that's blocked by the Lacey defense.
And a good player at this level has got to be able to bang that ball hard with both feet.
Joy now down the sideline.
You've got to quickly get it in. There's less than 10 seconds.
Keith Pierce rode him off the ball and went off out of bounds off Pierce. It'll be a throw in. And that is the end of the first half. Sophomore Tony Perfilio with his first goal of the season, and it is the lone goal of the half. Scotch Plains leads it 1-0. We'll be back with some halftime action right after this.
Hello, I'm Pam Dauber. I'd like to tell you about some children who need your help right now. Very young children who are robbed of their childhood by poverty. Children who've had the light of their childhood taken away forever. Not getting the right food and proper nutrition. They're too weak to fight off the disease which attacks them and steals their eyesight. total irreversible blindness. This condition, known as nutritional blindness, is due to a lack of vitamin A in their diet. In the third world, one child goes blind every minute. The disease begins by taking away their night vision. Imagine how frightening this must be to a child after the sun goes down, searching frantically for comfort in a familiar toy and not finding it. As time goes on, their sight worsens until it's gone completely. For many, it's too late. But for thousands, there's still time. You can send this little miracle to a child who still has a chance. It's the desperately needed megadose of vitamin A, which Helen Keller International distributes. What does it cost to send this miracle capsule? Only $1. Just $1 can save the sight of a little boy or girl. Your gift of $20 can save the sight of as many as 20 children. And if you give that amount every month, you'll help keep more than 200 children from going blind this year. Please call now and say you'll give. These children have no one else to turn to. Please give what you can today. Call the toll-free number and pledge $20 or more to Helen Keller International. You can help keep the light of childhood in their young eyes.
The Group 3 state championship. Scotch Plains Raiders leading at this point 1-0. And this is how we got to this point.
Play comes in, you'll see. First shot is taken right there. I believe it had been Winokur had taken the shot. Capiccio comes out, makes the save, but it skipped, hit him in the chest. He comes out. Second shot is taken.
That was Horeb.
And then finally the third time, you saw it right there. Perfilio, a little bit happy on that.
A little bit happy. The sophomore scoring his first goal of the season. He had 3 assists, but that goal, I'm sure he's going to remember that one for a while. Well, we're at the Group 3 state championship, as we mentioned, but there were quite a few games played recently. And the Parochial A state championship, zip tie. Don Bosco and Notre Dame were co-champs. In the Parochial B state championship, St. Augustine, a 2-1 winner over Pingree. Our engineer, Scott Jasmine, who's not working this evening, very upset about that. He's a graduate of Pingree. But
2 seconds left.
They lost
what
it.
a heartbreak.
The Group 1 state championship, Montgomery and Glenrock. Montgomery coming away with the title. Brutally shared the title last year from the TV3 area in the Group 1 state championship. And the Group 2 state championship from the TV3 area, the Harrison Blue Tide battled Cinnaminson, and they battled to the 0-0 tie. They were also co-champions.
And Harrison, who last time they appeared was 1976. No stranger to state tournament play, certainly, the Harrison Blue Tide. First time they've made it to finals, and they got a share of the title. Our congratulations to Tom Carney and his crew.
Well, we're going to have some football action coming your way. The semifinals of the state playoffs, the North 2 Group 1 semifinal. Brearley will battle Johnson. And you can see that game Saturday, November 30th at 8 p.m. and Sunday, December 1st at 10 a.m. in the second half of our doubleheader. The North 2 Group 2 semifinal, Summit and Caldwell. Caldwell undefeated at this point. You can see that game Saturday, November 30th at 10:30 p.m. and we'll replay it Sunday the 1st at 9:30 p.m. John, Tom Bresnitsky mentioned to me earlier today that they wanted to control the midfield, and that was the key to their game. Your thoughts on
Well, they've controlled 2 areas of the game that are very, very important. I noticed right off the bat, right from the get-go, they controlled both wings on the offensive end of the field. They did that against Hoboken. I was as impressed with any team I've seen this year. So very quickly, then they took over the midfield. Those are the 2 keys, midfield and the offensive wings.
All right, 1-0 our halftime score. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
About this, John.
Relax. This is an excellent place to party before we drive over to the dance. What's that, honey?
I didn't say anything.
Well, then I guess it must be the ghost living here.
Ooh, scare me. Scare me.
Jane, let's bail.
Stop! Don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive, slow down. Stop! Don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive, slow down. You can't say it enough, can't say it enough, can't say it enough, slow down.
My grandson said he could drink and drive, but he couldn't even get me home alive.
Stop! Don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive, slow down.
My name is Bobby, and I'm here to say there's too much drinking on the road today. Behind the wheel, don't be no fool. Drinking and driving is stupid, not cool.
Stop! Don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive, slow down.
Drinking and riding, that was really gnarly till my boyfriend crashed like thanks a lot, Charlie.
Weekend, say
Hey,
it
after a game, I like my brew. Some hops and barley, any brand would do. Had one too many, now I'm dead. Should have listened to what my old lady said.
Mommy said you wouldn't drive and drink. Now I'm dead. That really stinks.
Stop! Don't drink and drive, can't say it enough, can't say it enough, can't say it enough, stop!
Nice night out, huh?
Yeah.
What do you say we take a long walk to the dance?
That's a great idea.
Hey, from all of us here at the house, please, don't drink and drive.
Welcome back to the turf here at Trenton State College. The score of the Group 3 state championship game, Scotch Plains 1, Lacey nothing. And the rain, John, has ceased.
In the middle of our halftime, all of a sudden there was no rain. It was like somebody turned the faucet off. Definitely to the advantage right now of the Raiders because they're going to have the wind in their face in the second half.
The Scotch Plains picked up the 1-goal lead. Sophomore Tony Perfilio picking up his first goal of the year. And a very important one it was, and that is what got us to this 1-0 score. Second half is underway.
I think the Raiders right now are going to have to dominate early and quickly. If they show that the weather won't affect their play, I think it's going to really take the wind out of the sails of Lacey a little bit.
Klein with the ball, as he was all throughout the first half, controlling things around the top of the box and throughout the Lions' half of the field.
We might have a penalty kick. Let's see what is called here. I believe so. You're going to see here, I believe it was Jeff Reza that was coming in. He was going to take the cross right here. That's Reza. No question about it. The hand. The arm was out. The defender didn't even question the call. The arm was way out to the side, not down close to the body where it should be, and we're going to have the penalty kick.
It was Kevin McLaughlin whose hand was hit by the ball on the cross from Jeff Reza, and Josh Winokur is going to tee up the penalty shot.
This is big. 2-0. If it doesn't become 2-0 and he makes the save, it's really going to give a boost to the Lions.
Winokur eyeing it up. He gets the whistle, and it's in. Josh Winokur on the penalty shot makes it 2-0 Scotch Plains. The Lacey sideline is extremely quiet. The players are just looking off onto the field.
You'll see here, Winokur, very simply, he has the advantage. Capodici goes to his left, and as you see, the ball goes to the right. Capodici doing what any keeper does. He tries to read it, he tries to take a chance, and more often than not, everything's on the side of the kicker. And I might add, and I saw it directly after that penalty kick, you notice nobody questioned it. There wasn't much argument about it. I saw Coach sitting on the side, and he looked very dejected. He knew right away what was happening, and never even questioned the call.
McLaughlin knew right away that his Hand had been hit by the ball, and Winokur teed it up and scored his 11th goal of the season. Eric Ruano now with the ball. Klein kicked it up, went off McLaughlin. It was sent back toward midfield. Della Petro now tried to get it to Keith Pierce. Porev now ridden off the ball by John Wall. Wall sends it out toward midfield. Winokur again gains control. Klein once again for Scotch Plains, boots it toward the box.
And Scotch Plains has immediately dominated this first 2 minutes.
Looked like a handball on Jeff Reza, no call. As Joyce sends it in.
We have a jumping in foul against the Raiders. It's going to be Lacey ball. When you see the scoreboard, you see it says Guest 2, Lions nothing. In this case, the Lions correct are nothing, but nothing as far as the score goes. I hope the Lacey fans don't take that the wrong way. But usually the home team is the team that is given the score side, and they're usually in the light uniform. So disregard that as far as...
Reza charging now.
Reza tried to fake with his body. They didn't take the fake, and the Lions went with the ball, and they took the play.
This is Jacobs for the Lions. He sends ahead, tried to get it to Della Petro. It looked like it went off Della Petro's head, and that ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. .37:05 left in the ball game. 2-0 Scotch Plains.
Let's get it back. If you can get it, you start cranking them.
Bracky Reyes sends it out toward midfield. The ball just hangs up in the air as Jacobs heads it back toward the goal.
Oh, great opportunity there for the Lions, but the ball just a little bit too far in front. I believe that was Dan Kerrigan.
Dan Kerrigan.
And Dan couldn't quite control it, and it went over for the goal kick.
So once again, Reyes will tee it up on his corner of the box. Klein heads it back the other way. Winokur now boots it.
The amazing thing about this weather, with this wind, it could dry up this AstroTurf very quickly in the second game to follow, which is the Westfield-East Brunswick game. They could have almost a dry pitch if the rain holds off.
The rain did stop at about halftime, as John mentioned a little bit earlier. It was raining all day, and it rained all throughout the first half, but now, as we said, it stopped. Keith Joy called for the foul.
And that's going to be just outside the 18 at the left corner. The Lions are saying, no, it's a penalty kick, but that's in fact where the man stopped when the whistle was blown. The trip took place, as you look at the football markers there, just outside the 10-yard line, which is from the angle close to 30 yards away from the net.
As I look out onto the field, the rain has slowly started once again. Maybe we spoke too soon, John.
Yep.
Della Petro now off the indirect. Scotch Plains takes care of it. Joyce sends it across midfield. This is Manger now for the Lions, who kicks it right back in the other way. All the way back to Bracky Reyes, who comes out to handle it. And as John mentioned, on a night like tonight, that was not an easy ball to handle.
No, it wasn't. Bracky Reyes is an excellent goalkeeper, very sure-handed. But again, you've got some really tough weather conditions tonight, Rob.
Throw in now for the Lions. Amit Dogra giving chase, along with Dan Kerrigan. Ball goes out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick. It was off Kerrigan's foot as he tried to cross it into the middle of the box.
And as soon as it started, it stopped again, Rob. I think we'll just give up predicting on this weather tonight.
There we go.
Whatever's going to be is going to be.
Leave it to Al Roker. Let him do it.
There we go.
There's head coach of the Scotch Plains Raiders, Tom Bresnitsky, in his 17th season. Looking to pick up his 3rd state championship. The Scotch Plains won the state championship back in 89, and before that it was 87. In 89, they defeated Bridgewater West 2-1. In 87, they defeated Wall Township 4-0, and they were also in it in 1985, but they came out on the short end of the stick, losing a 2-0 decision to West Deptford.
Of course, we go back to that 87 championship. We think of who was, I believe, one of the top scorers for Rutgers, who's active in Division I, Lino DiQualo, one of the finest soccer players this state has ever seen.
And Rutgers having a fine season.
Have a big game coming up against Southern Methodist this weekend.
Shot. Probably not if it got by Riz. I don't think that would have went in, but still.
Certainly, and maybe the weather is a factor here because Reyes having to come out on that ball twice. He didn't have to do that at all in the first half.
Ed Grachin and the Lacey fans screaming for a handball on Jeff Reza, but no call. Mike Alchis taken out, and the ball goes back the other way. Jacob sends it ahead, and Reyes comes out to handle it.
Reyes, if he's going to punt, he elects not to. Okay, we're going to waste a little bit of time here. Perfectly legal as long as that ball is on the ground and in play.
31:57 left in the second half. It's 2-0 Scotch Plains. The winner will be awarded the Group 3 state championship. As Avi Horev now streaking down the near sideline, looking to cross it, and he does, but there's nobody home. And Capodici comes out to handle it.
Capodici made a relatively easy save that time, but again, the Raiders getting past the defenders on the wings and being able to cross that ball into the middle.
The second half, barring the goal, has been more equal than the first half. A lot more of the play distributed in both ends of the field.
Absolutely. But again, you can see the Raiders seem to be a little bit more deliberate. They form those plays at midfield.
Pierce crosses it toward the middle of the box. Ray's coming out. He's going to take care of it.
I think what the Raiders wanted a handball because they saw the hand come up of the player from Lacey, but I don't think he touched the ball with his hand, and that's
Didn't
the key.
Look like it. Klein heads it straight up in the air, and then he gets back to it.
And the rains are with us again.
Light rain again begin to fall, as John mentioned.
Even though there is 30 minutes left in the second half, with a 2-0 lead, as good as the Raiders are, you'll see them in no hurry to get the ball back into play. Even at this early stage in the game, they'll start taking a few seconds here, a few seconds there. And by the same token, very shortly, you're going to hear the fans on our near side of the field, which are the Lacey fans, of yelling about delays and so forth. All part of the game.
Winokur now sends it ahead for Scotch Plains. He's gunning for Lewis down the far sideline. Lewis gets to it, goes out of bounds, and he'll have a throw in. Tries to get it to Perfilio, but Fiore kicks it out of bounds. Perfilio with one of the Scotch Plains goals tonight.
No difference here than there is during regular season play. We play 2 40-minute halves. If it's tied after that, we play 2 10-minute overtimes. And if we're tied after that, we go home as co-champions. At this point, we don't worry about that. Raiders have a 2-0 lead.
Dogger with the long throw in. Nobody there. Everybody for Scotch Plains looking around at each other. Shot sails way wide.
Certainly the time to take the shot, but also one of the most difficult shots there is to make.
Substitution for the Lions. Ryan Krause coming in. He replaces John Santoro at the midfield. Once again, Whitaker regains possession for Scotch Plains and gives it to Lewis, who's streaking down the sideline.
And again, the Raiders able to control the ball on the wings. I think you're going to have a trip before that ball went out of touch. I think you're going to see a direct kick for the Raiders.
Lewis was tripped up by Fiore.
This is a tough ball because that's going to sail with that wind. It's going to knuckle. It's going to be real tough for Capodici. Going to be a left-footed kick, it appears.
Sent toward the middle of the box. Fiore now clears it away. Back toward midfield. This is Dogra for Scotch Plains. Jacobs now down the sideline. Big kick in toward net, but Reyes takes care of it.
And I'll tell you what, he saw something that I saw. Reyes was all the way out at the end of the 18-yard line, the penalty area. He was hoping with that wind that he would get a bounce and get it over his head.
Some of the Lacey fans you can hear calling for a handball, but Reyes did get the ball away as a collision happens right there.
And what the Lacey fans were looking there for, certainly the foul, but they were looking for the advantage. And certainly Della Petro letting the official know that he had the advantage and not to blow the whistle. And that's, pardon me when I say, but you're damned if you do and damned if you don't in a situation like that. Because if he didn't blow the whistle and it went out of touch, he's going to say, why didn't you blow the whistle? So
Manger, McLaughlin, and Pierce all standing around the ball.
Put it right on net, Craig. It's direct.
Here it comes from Manger. Right on net. And it's in. It bounced off Reyes and was headed in by Sean Jacobs.
And you'll see there, I believe it was Manger that took the original shot. And he hit a bullet. And Reyes was right on that ball, but it came off his chest. Here it is right here. Manger with the shot, and I mean it is a rope. Right off the chest, hits the post. He turns around, but you'll see right there that I think that was Sean Jacobs.
Sean Jacobs picking up the goal. It bounced off Reyes. Jacobs comes in, and he makes no mistake about it, picking up his 7th goal of the season. We've got a whole new ball game. It's alive on this sideline by the Lacey fans. It's now 2-1 Scotch Plains. There's 26:45 left in the game.
And the Lacey fans are really up now. And, of course, this Lacey team, really. Here it is. Manger again takes the shot, and I mean, he hits a shot. That was a heavy shot off Reyes' chest. Hits the post. Jacobs comes in. And I think if Jacobs didn't score that goal, you might have had a penalty kick because it looked like he was almost a clothesline.
Reyes grabbed him around the neck, but didn't make a difference. That ball was in the back of the net, and as I said, it's a whole new feeling over here on this sideline by the Lacey fans. They are on fire. They want another one.
And here's Manger from almost the same spot, a little about 5 yards shorter, doing it again.
This shot not going to make it to Reyes. The Raiders clear it back toward midfield. Fiore now giving chase for the Lions.
And again, who knows, Rob? Did the weather have a factor in that? It's hard to say. The rain has started to pick up again. The wind is blowing. We've seen that the majority of our goals have been scored at this end of the field. The majority of the goals, 2 of the 3. But certainly this end of the field from a goalkeeper standpoint is much, much tougher.
The wind blowing right into the goalkeeper's face on this right side of the field.
I think at this point, Scotch Plains has just got to settle down, start to play the game they played in the first half. Play those wings, control that midfield, do what you did.
Played back to the goalkeeper. Capodici almost had to make a save on his player's own shot. And sent ahead. This is Whitaker now. Ridden off the ball nicely. And Lacey regains possession.
Scotch Plains is not challenging at the midfield. If they're beaten on a play, they're kind of looking at it. They've got to pick it up. They've got this lull going right now, and they've got to get out of it.
Eric Klein, toward midfield, around by the tee of Trenton State, is limping around. We'll have to see if that has any effect on the Raiders. Brolinsky now in a bit of a collision with Manger, and it's going to be going the other way. Sean Lynch comes in to replace Sean Jacobs. This is Della Pietro now working. He gets it taken away. The ball is kicked way down the near sideline. It goes out of bounds. That'll be a...
That's not Scotch playing style to put the ball up in the air there, but maybe now that's what they need is a couple long ones to get that ball up in the sky, get it downfield, and try to get to that ball control that we've had all through the first half.
Throw in for Lacey.
Handball.
Handball was called. It bounced right off Joe Marshall.
Ooh, tough play now. Look, Winokur turns it nicely outside.
Winokur moving extremely well with the ball offensively.
Winokur's wanting a corner kick on that one, and I don't know if I don't agree with him.
He took a shot. It looked like it went off a Lacey defender.
Let's see what happens here. Here's Winokur turning the ball in. By golly, I'll tell you, that ball suddenly changed a little bit. I think it was a corner.
Looked like it went off McLaughlin.
We're told on the replay that the people in the truck also agree with us.
A vote of confidence, John. See, one of the greatest officials, I'll tell you. You can see that from up here. 22:37 left in this one.
So easy when you're not on the call and you have a replay.
Kicked back in, and Reyes again has it bounce up and off of him, and it was a free ball there for a couple of seconds.
Well, we said late in the first half, does the wind and the weather have an effect at that end of the field? I have to say it does, because Reyes, who looked so confident early on, is now having all kinds of difficulty at that end of the field, and I think the weather conditions are a big factor.
Klein and Charlie Bauernhuber got into a bit of a collision in midfield. This is Reza now charging offensively for Scotch Plains, and it's kicked back up toward midfield. Amit Dagran now looking to pass. The ball goes out of bounds at Scotch Plains throw-in. Dagran takes care of it.
Scotch Plains now starting to work the wings again. That's what they did so well in the first half. I think if they keep it out of the middle of the field up on offense, they're going to do a lot better. They were so effective all through the first half that way.
Reza with the throw-in for the Raiders. Looking for Winokur.
Tried to turn the ball. Almost did, too.
Brolinsky now. Shot on goal and a save.
Great shot by Brolinsky. That's a real tough thing to do. You can see Capodici had a tough time. He had to keep the ball low. You'll see that ball is really, God, it's difficult. You see there, that ball took one skip, and Capodici just barely able to get onto it.
The ball now deep into the box. Reyes will take care of it. So Lacey now, the last couple of times into the Scotch Plains end, have just been chipping it toward Reyes, hoping somebody can get in there and get a shot on net.
They defeat themselves. We said so many times this year, he sits there and he stays in front of the player. He can't walk with him. Referee's going to warn him.
You can see the ball just die as Reyes punted it. The wind having a major effect on this game right now.
Oh, it certainly is.
Bauernhuber into the box.
Right now, the advantage all with the Lacey Lions. Good lead. Defended nicely.
Nice lead for Brolinsky. He's still down there. Reza tried to regain possession. He does. It's a throw-in now, and he's gunning for Brolinsky.
They wanted a handball. There was no way that even touched his arms.
Klein now toward the top of the box. Bodies are just hitting the turf.
Lacey being much more aggressive on defense now, much more so than they were in the first half.
Substitutions now for Lacey. John Santoro and Bob Gowan coming in. Charlie Bauenhuber on his way out. He's taking a seat.
Lacey with the throw in. And the wind and the rain definitely to their advantage at this point.
Deep down the sideline. It's crossed, but it's off the side of the net. Nice run.
It was a nice run, and they were able to beat the defense very nicely.
Santoro, who had just come in off the bench, was the man who just made that run at the net.
Well, most definitely we've seen that the weather is a factor. Right now, Lacey seems to have the advantage of play, and they are really putting the pressure on the Raiders' defense.
Sean Lynch now with the ball. Kicks it ahead. This is Santoro, and he's ridden off the ball, and it's kicked back up toward midfield. Trips 21 on that one. Winokur tripping Damian Morris. Back ahead. Della Pietro now. Gets it out toward midfield, and here comes Lacey. The Lions have new life after that first goal.
Della Pietro showing why he scored all those goals this year.
Altus with a nice defensive play. It goes off Altus, and it'll be a throw-in.
I think it's a corner
kick. That, it'll be a corner kick. Della Pietro will take it.
Della Pietro with a great. No, I don't think is he? Or he's looking for directions for coach on this one. Della Pietro looks like he's going to take it with his right foot, and he does.
It's into the box, and it goes right through. Altus clears it away.
Nice lead. That ball's never even going to make it to the goal line.
Another big collision, and Capodici comes out to get it.
Beautiful punt. Got the wind at his back. He gets good 60 yards in the air.
Big punt, as John said, and this ball is on its way out of bounds. That's going to be another corner kick. Bob Gowan looks like he's teeing up the corner kick.
And Reyes was fortunate that that ball went well out of touch because he was out of position if they had a quick restart. In swinger, it's going to be with the right foot.
Here it comes, the corner kick by Bob Gowan.
And they decide to substitute. What an anticlimax.
Jacobs coming back in, also Dan Kerrigan.
A little more height, I think, up on offense now.
Here it comes.
Good kick.
No! No goal!
I don't know how that didn't go in. I haven't the foggiest idea. That was incredible.
Defensively, we'll have to see if we can see it on the replay, but a great defensive play by Scotch Plains.
I don't know how that. I thought for sure that was going to be a 2-2 game.
An incredible chance for Lacey, but it doesn't go in.
You'll see Gowan taking this corner kick, and the ball comes racing across. There you see it's a great corner. As it comes across, it is headed, and the defender, I couldn't see who it was, right in the middle of his chest and came out. And he just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
It looks like it might have been Keith Joy, number 5.
It was. Keith Joy, number 5, hit his chest, it came down, and then he was able to clear it out.
So Scotch Plains is still on top in this one with 15:27 left. It's 2-1, an unbelievably lucky play for Scotch Plains. Keith Joy was just in the right place at the right time.
And the pressure all on the part. Jeff Reza getting the ball out of touch. Lacey with another throw in and putting great pressure. Their fans going crazy on the side of the field.
Marshall will take the throw in.
It's going to be a Raider throw in.
It's going to be a Raider throw in, that one off Jacobs. You can hear Ed Grachin yelling, he's stalling, ref. 14:40 left in the second half.
That was a tough play, I believe, by Klein.
Lacey applying amazing amounts of pressure.
He was, I don't know how he kept his
trip
balance on that
call.
play. No play, there's a trip, and it is called.
Jacobs called for tripping Berlinski. Berlinski hobbling as he gets up.
You'll see right here. Here you see him run onto the play. And certainly the trip taken, his right foot taken out from under him.
Jeff Reza now on the near sideline, being defended by Jacobs. Jacobs takes him out. Reza held on to the jersey, but no call. Here comes Santoro down the sideline, being defended by Dogra. Gets by him, but it's cleared back. Here's Jacobs again. This is Santoro. Santoro taken out.
Just outside the penalty area, you have a penalty correction. You're going to have a direct kick. Right now, the Raiders have to calm down. There's a lot of panicking. We saw Reza grab the shirt up here. You saw the trip there when he still had the player defended.
Mike Marcavecchio was guilty of the infraction for the Raiders.
Raiders right now just have to calm down, play the game that they're so capable of playing.
Manger now is going to take the direct kick, it looks like. He's the guy, remember before, who took the direct kick that resulted in the goal when it bounced off Ray's chest. And here it comes. It's chipped up, but it's outside the net.
Did you see something different there? That was Manger again, right?
Right.
This time he did it with his right foot and not his left. And you saw the power he showed with that left foot. That's the sign of a good player, that he can take that restart from either side. We know what he can do with his left foot.
Obviously, he blasted that one shot, which resulted in the goal, and that's where we stand at 2-1 with 12 and a half left in the game.
Raiders have to challenge more at the midfield. The Raiders have to control the ball and get a break, which they might have here.
Avi Horeb with the shot, but it goes over the top of the goal.
Avi Horeb, I thought, was going to control the ball. Instead, as soon as he got onto the ball, he took the left foot. Was a little high, was a little wide, but not all that much. And you'll see him right here. As he comes in there, doesn't even trap it, just first times it.
Well, we weren't sure what kind of a crowd we were going to get tonight because of the weather. We weren't sure what kind of a game we were going to get tonight. But this is an exciting battle for the Group 3 state championship.
Great intensity. And considering the field conditions, a lot of good individual skills being shown here on this field.
Scotch Plains now working the wings.
Settling down a little bit after that big push by the Lacey Lions.
Ball chipped toward the middle. Horeb misses it. This is Reza. Klein lost his shoe.
That won't stop him.
And McLaughlin sends it back toward the other sideline. That'll be a throw-in for the Raiders. They started up right away.
And as a result, they're on the inside. They're going to have a trip from just outside the area. And the Raiders are going to have the same opportunity at the opposite end of the field where you just saw Manger take with the right foot from almost the same spot at the opposite side of the field.
Lewis was tripped by Gowan, and here he goes to take the kick. Toward the box, and it just goes by.
Boy, that was a lot closer than it looked, and I mean close not by how much it missed the net, but he was wide open there. The cross you'll see as it's taken right here, left foot, just an easy chip, comes all the way through. He was wide open. He really had a lot of net to play with.
Just couldn't get it on net. Della Pietro giving chase. Reyes will watch it go past the goal line.
Reyes doing that just to make sure they get the goal kick.
Go, Lacey, hustle!
Now the rain coming down hard again. And harder.
Once again, the weather has played a major factor, at least from our vantage point. A lot of the play in the right side of the field because of the wind conditions. We're under 10 minutes left to play in the second half. Jacobs now sends ahead. Goes out of bounds. Kerrigan up and over the fence almost. Be a throw-in for the Raiders.
Right now it's raining as hard as it's rained all night. You see Westfield on the far side of the field, and they're certainly taking note of this. And And if they win a coin toss, I will almost guarantee you that they will want to attack with the wind at their back in the first half. I know, well, my theory would be just the opposite, and I'll explain it in a couple of minutes.
Play continuing in the Scotch Plains end. Lewis kicks it out toward Perfilio. It crosses midfield and goes down to the Lacey
nice.
30.
Nice
Perfilio.
takeaway. Oh, and the midfielder was coming up, and he was trailing the play too closely, and the ball went right by him.
Marshall sends it ahead. Ball's going to go out of touch.
On these lateral plays, you have to chase everyone down because the ball dies quickly. The reason I said I want the wind in my face in the first half, people get tired in the second half. You have the boost of that wind. It's tougher now for Scotch Plains than it was for Lacey in the first half.
Weather conditions right now are unbelievable. The wind is blowing from left to right across this field. The rain pouring down.
I will guarantee you one thing, Rob. No referee is going to call this game at this point.
8:14 left.
The field conditions cannot get worse, not unless you have a 40-degree drop in temperatures in about the next 15 minutes, which is...
We could strap on some skates and have that happens.
Well, I officiated a state championship game here about 4 or 5 years ago where we did have ice on the field. It had rained for 2 days before that. And what had happened was you had that moisture that was underneath came up, and we had frost blowing across the field.
If you can see the field now, there are some certain spots where the water is remaining and puddles are going to begin to form.
Those of you viewers that have been with us for a number of years will remember our Essex County final with the girls going back about 4 years ago at Montclair State, where we had puddles on the field. The ball would stop and actually float in places.
Unbelievable game that was.
We had power outages and everything that day.
Play once again now, shot back towards Scotch Plains end of the field. But Lewis comes back out with it. Under 7 minutes now left to play. It's 2-1 Scotch Plains leading.
Nice move.
Here's a chance. Cleared away.
That ball's going to skip. If it's nope, it's not given a chance.
This is Horev now in the corner. He crosses it.
Oh,
and it goes up and over the goal.
That was not very far over either. Horev showing he's got that good left foot. We saw him earlier on the first time. Again, very relaxed. You'll see Horev here. The ball just sails. That's not more than 3 to 4 feet over the net. That wasn't that far off. And with this kind of wind, you've got to be very cautious.
Capodici gets us started again. It crosses midfield. Marcavecchio will play it back to Reyes. Marcavecchio looked like he might be injured.
I didn't see it. Unless they collided on the run by there, I didn't see him playing him at all.
Marcavecchio pointed at Dan Kerrigan. Kerrigan right in the face of Reyes. Reyes punts it up. Pretty
Can't do
nice
that.
punt considering the wind
Yes, it
conditions.
is. You got it almost to midfield, but I think you're going to have make a low punt if you want to get any distance. Oh, good defensive
nice
play.
Defensive play. Got a whistle and a push called against Lacey. Della Pietro called for the push, and he wasn't happy with the call.
I have no comment, especially on a call like that when I'm in the wrong position. If I'm a fan, I've got all kinds of comments.
Once again, not to harp on the weather, but the rain is now slowed up somewhat. Here comes Della Pietro again.
Della Pietro showing some good ball control skills, too. I'd have to disagree with the Lacey coach. I don't think they're a blue-collar team. They're a good, quality ball club.
Della Pietro and Perfilio exchange pushes at midfield.
Just asking how the weather is.
Now Scotch Plains down the sideline again.
And again,
Horev crosses it.
Look at this.
Perfilio.
Look at this.
Here's Gartria. Shot, it's in.
You could see that one coming all the way. The entire defense for Lacey had shifted all the way to Lacey's left. They had left the left side of the offense completely alone, and you had two Scotch Plain Raiders that were sitting on the doorstep. One took the pass, passed it to the left wing, who had time to set the ball up for his strong foot.
Zahid Quarashi with the goal. Number 6, the junior midfielder.
Now watch this. Watch as this ball comes across. The cross taken with the left foot, and as the ball comes across, no defenders. Cross, Quarashi taking his time, setting the ball up, point blank. It went right past Capodici. Had no chance. Ball went right between his arms.
Capodici did get a couple of hands on it, but a blast from that close range slips right through his arms, and it is now 3-1 with 4:39 left in the game.
And although the Lions have had the better of play in the second half, 2 goals go to the Scotch Plains Raiders. That probably one of the finest goals I've seen this year. The offense, who had been pushing all day long and opening those wings up, that's what created the hole in that defense. We commented that early on the first half. Ball misplayed.
Scotch Plains again on the attack. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in.
And Scotch Plains now again with a 2-goal lead in only just under 4 minutes. They're not going to take too much. They're going to take as much time, as putting the ball back in play as they can get away with.
As much time as they can. A couple of bodies hit the turf. That was McLaughlin going down over Berlinski. And here comes Jacobs with 3:40 left in the game. Dogra regains possession.
No, not much argument on that play. The trip is as the Raiders have beat them to the ball.
Well, as quickly as the Lacey sidelines erupted after the goal, they have quieted down after the Scotch Plains goal.
And of course, Lacey certainly not wanting. They put some great pressure on Scotch Plains. And Scotch Plains, although they did let 1 goal get by them, they've answered that well. And the best way to answer it is come back and score another one. Not too many opportunities here in this second half. But the first one that doesn't come from a restart vis-a-vis the penalty kick was a beautiful cross coming from the right side, giving Quarashi the open goal, and he gets to put it in.
That's where we stand, 3-1, 2:50 left in the ball game.
Ed Gratian's boys done a great job today. They've had a great season, but at this point it looks like Never Neverland is still never, never.
Scotch Plains again working. Klein with a shot.
Great opportunity.
Another shot that goes up and over the crossbar.
That one looked like it was Reza that got that shot. In fact, it was Reza sitting there pounding his hands. Why did I get the ball up so high? Again, he had some net. Certainly the better shots on goal today have gone to the Raiders, but most of them in the first half. You'll see again, the ball comes to the outside, and there's Reza taking the shot, leaning back on it too far.
2 minutes left in the ball game. Ed Gratian now substituting freely. He brought up quite a few JV members of the squad and got them in this game. Goalkeepers have just switched. Capodici coming out. Christian Hansen steps in to take care of the goalkeeping duties now. Under a minute and a half left, 3-1 Scotch Plains. It looks like they're going to go on to the Group 3 state championship, barring a miracle here by Lacey.
I would say at this point we have to congratulate Ed Gratian and his team. They've done a great job. They certainly were all this Scotch Plains Raiders team could handle it, but Scotch Plains feeling at this time with 1 minute left and a 2-goal lead that they're pretty much assured of their, I believe, 3rd outright Group 3 state championship.
That's right, John. Number 3, they won it in 87 and 89.
And, of course, our congratulations go to Tom Bresnitsky and the Scotch Plains Raiders.
You really do have to congratulate the Raiders after the tragedy that they suffered earlier in the season, losing sophomore Shimma Wexler. They really bounced back. They only lost 3 games all season. One was to Pingree, one was to Union, and one was to Elizabeth in the Union County tournament. The Pingree game was 2 days after they suffered the loss of Wexler, and both the Union and the Elizabeth games, they came back and avenged later on in the season. 23 seconds now left in the game.
and they tried to restart. They didn't have the ball in the right position. They wanted to get it in quickly, and that's what they're doing now.
10 seconds left in the game. Scotch Plains is going to capture the 1991 Group 3 state championship. 2 seconds. The game is over. Scotch Plains, the 1991 Group 3 state champions.
And the pictures speak for themselves, fans. Tom Brzezinski out there with his players.
The final score once again, 3-1 in favor of the Scotch Plains Raiders. John, your impressions of the game tonight and the play from both sides?
Great play from both teams. A blue-collar team never in Lacey. Scotch Plains Raiders, they went with what got them here. They played the wings beautifully. They played the midfield beautifully. They had more shots on goal. They had that lull, during the entire middle portion of the second half, but they started to come on. The opportunities, and in the second half, the opportunities were few and far between. But when they had the opportunity, they put the icing on the cake. Tom Brzezinski's guys, they really didn't have a heck of a lot this year that they needed to get them up. And they've certainly shown themselves to be the quality team that everybody expected them to be.
I'd quickly just like to thank Ed Gratian for all his help. He was very cooperative, very helpful with all the statistics for the Lacey Club. And, of course, Tom Brzezinski, always on the money with his information. And once again, congratulations to the Scotch Plains Raiders. They are the 1991 Group 3 state champions. The final, once again, 3-1. There is the trophy in the plastic. They are the state champs. That'll do it for us for this broadcast. For John Marcy and the rest of the TV3 Sports staff, I am Rob Matola. Congratulations once again to the Scotch Plains Raiders.